Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advanced. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty serious show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. My handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel, same name as the channel, DREAMERSPRO on Instagram. And also, if you want today's full show and you're not already following the DREAMERSPRO podcast, be sure to follow the DREAMERSPRO podcast. We have it pinned in the comments section below. Let me get into this topic right here. I think I said this just yesterday, that I'm getting to the point where I'm beginning to get sick of doing this job. Not because I don't enjoy talking about sports, but I just don't enjoy all of the games that people play. I don't enjoy the fact that there's certain things that happen in the background that, you know, the public is not aware of. And I just don't like the games. I got into this thing thinking, okay, we're going to talk about sports. We're going to keep it real. And that's it. But the more time I spend within the business, I now realize, okay, you can't say this. You can't talk about this. This person's affiliated with that. That person is. And I think the group that suffers the most is the audience. Because the audience is getting a watered down product, right? And they don't really know what the hell is going on. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing, right? I've always said that Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. I never met Kobe. I'm not associated with anyone within Kobe Bryant's camp. I think that Michael Jordan is the greatest player who ever played, because I think Kobe's one of the greatest ever. I don't know Jordan. I'm not affiliated with Jordan. I don't know, and I don't, nor do I want to be, right? I'm saying that because that's what I truly believe. Now, there have been a lot of people in sports media that have been accused of saying things that they don't really believe, or they're saying things because they're basically sent out there to propagate a particular message. And one of those people has been Nick Wright, right? Nick Wright really made his name for himself when he came on television and basically trolled the hell out of Michael Jordan. As a matter of fact, if you go on YouTube and you search Nick Wright, that particular clip on Undisputed when Shannon Sharpe was there back in 2015 or 16, whatever the hell it was, when he said LeBron had surpassed Michael Jordan, that's his most viewed clip to this day. I think it has something like 4.5 million views. That's the one that really got people paying attention to Nick Wright, by basically trolling Michael Jordan. And at the time, and to this current moment, a lot of us feel like this guy doesn't really mean what he's saying. And all of us have always speculated, like, wait a minute, the way this guy defends LeBron, the way he goes, the way he went at Kobe, the way he goes at Jordan, ranking Jordan with his recently top 50 greatest NBA players in the last 50 years, ranking Jordan number 3 behind LeBron, who was number 1, and Kareem at number 2. A lot of people are like, is this guy trolling, or is he doing the biddings? Is he doing the bidding for LeBron James and Klutch Sports? So what happened? A few months ago, we actually came across a clip where Doug Gottlieb, who was a colleague of Nick Wright, basically said Nick Wright was assigned to Klutch Sports, right? But then what happened yesterday, they were talking about the Draymond Green situation on First Things First, and Nick Wright was talking about it, and then it got to the point, and Nick Wright basically came out and said on public TV, on live TV, and said, I'm signed with Klutch Sports, so I know it may be an awkward moment at the Christmas party. And I was like, wait, what? So for those of you who did not hear Nick Wright actually publicly admit this on live TV, I'm going to play it for you right now, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Nick Wright saying that he signed to Klutch Sports.
He could have really hurt the dude. That's just complete. Like,
he could have
thrown that
broken his
punch in the
eye
fight,
socket.
right?
So listen, Brew, I agree
and
with.
10 is fine, but I'm saying I'd be fine. It should be at least 10.
Wilds. Here's my only problem with the money part of it. Then I'll get into it.
Yeah.
Your length of suspension should not be impacted at all by if you're a max guy or a minimum salary guy.
I buy
and
that.
so, like, the money is just game checks. You know what I mean? So if it were, he makes $21 million a year right now on his current deal. Steph makes 60. So you know what I mean? A 5-game suspension for Steph would be more than Draymond. But I'm not concerned about the money part of it.
Can I say one thing on the money part?
Sure.
The whole reason the in-season tournament worked is because guys were getting $500,000.
Yes.
And Draymond's like lost more than that because Nurkic was slightly bothering him holding his hip. It just seems beyond comprehension.
Right. There is no rationality to what he's doing. And I would argue before the NBA announces his official suspension, the Warriors are within their rights to come out and say,
you think they will, though?
I think they
They've
should.
allowed a lot of this.
But I wonder if they regret it. I wonder if they regret how important ring night was after he cold-cocked Jordan Poole. Another time he could have really hurt somebody. Yeah. Instead, he just really hurt the team. But we now have 4 wildly violent, very different incidents in 15 months. We have a Jordan Poole jumping punch. We have a stomp on Sabonis' chest. We have a choke of Gobert. We have a spinning back fist on Nurkic. 4 in 15 months. 3 in his last 26 games played. 1 in every 9 games, he's averaging a wildly violent moment.
That's crazy.
Right? If we, I looked it up this morning. In the last 2 years, 624 people have played in an NBA game. If we were to say, hey, what are the 4 most violent on-court acts committed? It would be 4 Draymond Green offenses. He is the Nikola Jokic of on-court violence, what Jokic is to like 40-point triple-doubles. It's like, hey, who's done it? It's just his name a bunch of times. And I am not, listen, I understand this is going to make it awkward for me at the, upcoming Klutch Sports Christmas party, but I'll deal with that. I think Draymond Green's out of control. I don't think he, and I mean that literally, I don't think he can control himself. And the things he's doing right now, when I said after the Gobert thing that these are UFC moves, that wasn't hyperbolic. I can prove it to you. Here, Brew, I've got video for you. That's the Jordan Poole punch. That is a UFC knockout. Now we can show you the Sabonis stomp, which we had to go to a different league because that's outlawed in the UFC. Not even allowed there. We can show you the rear naked choke on an NBA court and a guy making the same face as Gobert, like, you got to be kidding me. And we can show you the spinning back fist. If this is
way worse than Gobert to me.
But here's the other concern, Brew, and I want your thoughts on this. It seems to be taking less and less to provoke him.
That's what's interesting. So
Sabonis, like, if you remember when we argued about Sabonis, you made the point, well, Sabonis was holding him. They had been going back and forth. We all agreed the stomp was an overreaction, but there was a real back and forth. Okay, then the Gobert thing, you made the point, well, Gobert was touching Clay, even though there was at least slight provocation. Nurkic is doing something that is called playing defense. That's it. So, the provocation has gotten less and less. And the other question I have is this. Let's say it's 10 games. And in 20 games, he does something else. Is he on, because in my mind, he is on a 2 strikes for this season right now. If there is another outwardly, unambiguously violent act, I'm not talking about a flagrant foul going for a life. I'm talking about something like we've seen. I think he's done for the rest of the season.
So you heard what Nick Wright had to say. You heard it right there. He said, I am signed to Klutch Sports. Now, some people say, well, some slow people, some people who are not as bright will say, well, I don't understand. What's the issue? The issue is the conflict of interest. And then makes me wonder, is everything that you say about LeBron based on the fact that you work for a company that LeBron is also affiliated with? Because LeBron, his agent is Rich Paul, who's the owner of Klutch Sports. So you guys are directly related. And one would also surmise that you guys probably know each other and met on multiple occasions. And then it begins to make sense. No wonder you're always saying nice things about LeBron. No wonder you're always taking shots at Michael Jordan. No wonder you always used to take shots at Kobe Bryant. And to me, you lose a lot of credibility when you do that. This is just my personal view. It makes it seem like as if you're just going out there to parrot a particular narrative that these guys want propagated to the public. And once I begin to understand that, I can't take you seriously anymore because you're basically doing LeBron James's bidding. That's all you're doing. And it makes me realize that the only reason you went out there back on 2015, 2016, whatever the hell it was on Undisputed and said that was because you were signed to Klutch Sports. And Klutch Sports wanted that message out there. And I got a problem with this. I do. It's like in politics, it's like having politicians that lobbyists have got to. And they're receiving, they're lobby funded. And that's legal in Washington, D.C., which is incredible. I think super PACs were legal at one point. I'm not sure they still have super PACs, but that's insane. where you basically could just, a person that was extremely rich could just give somebody an unlimited amount of money. And then that person who's running for office or who may take the position in office, you're thinking, oh, I voted for him. And you're like, no. You may have voted for him, but that person is beholden to the person that gave him all of those funds. And that's legal in Washington, D.C. I don't know if they still do it to today. I don't follow politics as much. That's just one of the reasons I can't get down with politics. But back to my original point. That's the issue. That's the issue with me. Nick Wright is a LeBron James worshiper. He goes out there and propagates whatever Klutch Sports and these guys want him to say. And that's one of the reasons I can't take these guys seriously. I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't, because it makes me, I truly believe that you don't really mean what you're saying. And you're only saying that because you're in the employment or you're affiliated or represented by Klutch Sports. And I think that's a problem. I think that is a problem. A real problem. I think these should be independent voices going out there saying what they think. That's what I think. I remember hearing Charles Barkley on numerous occasions. I don't care who wins or loses. I don't think Charles Barkley really has a horse in the race at any level on who's winning or losing. Now, he may want a particular team to win or lose, but I don't think he cares to that point. I don't think he has anything invested. These guys do. Now, I don't know if that's the truth about Shannon Sharpe, but then it makes me begin to question, do you really believe all of those things you will say? That's the problem, in my personal view. Some people don't have any issue with it. I do. Because when you go out there and start saying things that sound ass backwards, we then begin to wonder, why are you even saying this? This doesn't make any sense. And then when we hear that, oh, this person is affiliated with this particular organization, it goes, oh, no wonder you're saying that. And to me, you lose credibility when you do this. This is just my personal view. It's just, and there are a lot of people like this in sports media, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's a damn shame. It is such a damn shame. But hey, it is what it is. That's what these guys do. So you heard it for yourself. That's from Nick Wright's own mouth, not mine. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about Nick Wright's admission? Are you surprised? And do you think it's okay for this to be the case in sports media? How would you feel about me if you found out that this channel was secretly sponsored by Jordan Brand? How would you feel about me then always going out there and saying, oh, I think Michael Jordan is great? Would you feel the same way about me? Or would you say, man, the only reason this guy's saying that is because Jordan is sponsoring him? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.